The other Super Bowl that is not WrestleMania is actually happening this weekend, and there is some interesting news to talk about. This is WrestleRound bringing you today's top 5 wrestling news and rumors, so make sure to have those notifications turned on to always be up to date, and let's get right into it. So talking about the Super Bowl, PW Insider is reporting that WWE has informed their employees that they will be airing multiple WrestleMania commercials during the Super Bowl on Sunday. Now, why this is huge, you may ask? And well, that is because there hasn't been a WWE commercial run during the Super Bowl since 1999, when they were pushing the Get It campaign about the Attitude Era. So finally, after 23 years, if I'm doing the Steiner math correct, that is. But it looks like there is a catch to all of this because WWE is not even paying for it. Apparently, this is Peacock related. The Wrestling Observer Radio talked about this and basically bringing up an interesting story up to why WWE is never featured in the Super Bowl, and that is basically that Vince McMahon feels that Super Bowl ads are a waste of money. Definitely sounds like Vince McMahon. So all this year he has opted not to run an ad again. NBC's asking price for a Super Bowl ad this year is $6.5 million per 30-second commercial, which is a $1 million increase from last year. And with how much budget cuts WWE been doing, especially over the last year, it's obvious they're not paying for this one. So this ad is going to be promoting WrestleMania on Peacock, with the big sell that, of course, it is a Peacock commercial. You need to get Peacock in order to get WrestleMania and to also get all the content from that live streaming service. Hopefully it's not a generic commercial. Hopefully we do get something like we used to get back in the day, and it's the wrestler doing some over-the-top stuff, and hopefully it's one of the best commercials of the night. On to some other news. Roman Reigns is about to set an incredible stat if he ends up winning at the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view against Goldberg. It's not pay-per-view anymore. I know, don't bother me. I'm still gonna call it like that for the next 10 years. Nonetheless, when Roman Reigns get his victory against Goldberg, which he will likely will, as that is going to be Goldberg's last match, Roman would hit a milestone in his reign that will likely be never done again, and that is that he has faced and retained the title against every single former Universal Champion since this title was created in 2016, and he will do so in one single run, beating the like of Finn Balor, Braun Strowman, The Fiend, Kevin Owens, Brock Lesnar, Seth Rollins, and Goldberg. Now the question is, will he get through Goldberg? The expectation is yes, as he is set to go on and face Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania. Onto some other news. It looks like a top SmackDown superstar is still working injured, even though he just made a return. The Wrestling Observer Radio ended up indicating that Drew McIntyre right now is not 100% recovered from his neck issues. He is still doing rehab and won't work house shows for now, so WWE is giving him a light schedule because they really want to keep him on television. So don't expect Drew McIntyre to be having matches on a weekly basis. They're probably gonna build up toward his next matchup, which will be at WrestleMania. By that point and after that event, he will probably be ready to go, and he is expected to beat Roman Reigns' next big challenge. Or Brock Lesnar if Brock Lesnar wins the title. Or both titles. Who knows what WWE is trying to do right now. Some other interesting news. It looks like WWE is very interested in the first ever AEW Women's TBS Champion, Jade, who has been working and improving every week, including having wrestling sessions with the incredible Bryan Danielson. Jade has definitely come a long way, and Andrew Sarian ended up reporting that, of course, WWE is now interested in her after seeing what she has been able to do over the last year. So you can add Jade to the list of AEW wrestlers that WWE got an eye out for. That list keeps growing, and just over the last 2 months, we heard reports of WWE wanting MJF and Wardlow. It's very unlikely though that Tony Khan will let these guys go. And the last report that we are talking about is WWE editing a segment for next week's Friday Night SmackDown. Next week's episode was obviously taped. We talked about a major spoiler in our previous WrestleRound video, so make sure to check that out. I will try to not give you spoilers on this report. It is just pertaining to a botch. The Wrestling Observer Radio ended up indicating saying that the company is set to edit the contract signing segment, which went down between Charlotte, Sonya, and Ronda Rousey and Naomi. There was an awkward spot in all of this where Ronda Rousey was set to slam Charlotte Flair's head into the table, but Charlotte resisted. The timing of it was way off, as you guys can see in the botch, and it did not look good at all. This is already blowing up on social media, so I'm not surprised that we are already hearing about WWE working on editing all of this. They obviously got different camera angles going on, so it's likely that they might cut away to something else while the botch is happening. I don't necessarily think that this is Charlotte Flair's fault. This is just bad timing between both of them. Ronda probably could have done a little bit better, keeping her head in there and applying a little bit more force as Charlotte is selling it, and Charlotte could have probably timed it better as well. So we will see how WWE edited it out. Anyways, that is all the latest wrestling news coverage. If you enjoy or found it informative, and for more, make sure to turn on those notifications. Stay savage, and I'll catch you on the next one.